Hi YouTube, how everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good night. Just want to come on and see and make this video. This is gonna be a duplicate video. And the topic is about a little about myself and I just want to start by saying that I apologize if it appears that I'm complainy or difficult. Neither one is my intent, I want to say. And yeah, it's not my intent to seem that way for any of those, both of those things. And yeah, I just feel like I don't know, like, excuse me. It's very important that I point out certain things, um, and reiterate certain things, because um, the subjects that I'm discussing and having, they are very important subjects, and it's important that you know we as a family, my children and I, that we have the correct help, in its entirety, see. So um, I feel like if certain things are not pointed out or reiterated, that you know, we won't get the correct help that we need. And so, yeah, that's overall, that's the reason why, again, I feel the need to reiterate certain things, so, yeah, now I just want to start by saying, again, that I am a responsible adult, always have been. With that said, yeah, I was never a unfit parent or adult, and I'm not now. See, so um, if it was ever said that I was either, that's wrong, you know. So yeah, I want to say again that I know how to maintain a household in any way. I know how to um, work and keep a 9 to 5. I know how to pay rent and bills. I know how to balance and budget bills and money, and I know how to do house chores. So yeah, I know how to do all of that. Always have with that said, you know. And so yeah, I started off several years doing that. Just for those that don't know, him and I was in that apartment about 7 years, I think, prior to him running around with the person he was with. And so, yeah, I initially um, started, you know, maintaining the financial expenses there initially, and as time went in, he had impact as to why some of that changed, and the reason for some of that was, if all, it was because he was helping to support his mom's household and family members who were there. So yeah, so when that started, is when we started having financial issues and issues we had, and ultimately is what led to us, not keeping it, So yeah, that's what happened. So um, yeah, that was like some time. Yeah. So although we we had agreed when we moved in to operate as the exclusive couple that we were, like all other exclusive couples do when it comes to, financially maintaining a household, which we kind of did, but, yeah, some of that, like I said, kind of changed as time in, for the reasons that I've just mentioned. So, yeah, I worked several years prior, what that said, about 7, 8 years, prior, and maybe a little bit longer because I worked even when I was in high school, so yeah, he also worked too when we, over the course of the relationship, at the time we moved into that apartment, he had a few good paying jobs and stuff, but again, he chose not to continue to work. He would just kind of work on and off. So yeah, that's how that was for him and I. And you know, um, we just kind of struggled. We had our own struggles, like all other couples do. So yeah, we moved in. Like I say, as very exclusive or a exclusive couple. I had been with him again since I was 16. So yeah, we've been together a long time. Several years, and so it got to a point where he decided that he no longer wanted to help keep that place. And so yeah, that's why we didn't keep it. So that is why my children and I was in LA. With that said, I want to point that out and make that clear. That's ultimately why we were there. So yeah, because again, he didn't want to help me to keep it any longer. So yeah, so we moved there, and it was my intent to get back onto the right path of independence. I said, and that means work, and I did. Excuse me, and to get a place of my own, and I did that too. So yeah, that's what happened. Now I again recall certain comments the person he was with had made of me, suggesting that I was not a responsible adult, and again, I never did pay any of those comments any attention because I knew that they weren't true. I didn't have a reason to question any of the comments for any reason because I continued doing what I had always done early in him and I relationship. I go for working, having my own place, and maintaining it. So yeah, so I didn't have a reason again to question any of the comments, but again, I recall other close friends and family members telling her, uh, that I was responsible, and she didn't want to accept it from what I recall. So, yeah, with that said, I too want to point out, it was my opinion of her as well that she was not a responsible adult, it just seemed like there was something wrong with her, I don't know. But, yeah, as I said before several times back then, and I'll say it again, she's entitled to her opinion, or opinions of me. That's her right. Now, are they opinions that are worthy for me, not to operate the way I choose to for myself and for my family? And the answer is no. And so this is the point with it. Once again, as I said back then, I suggested this several times in the past, and why she didn't understand it, I don't know. But again, yeah, she's entitled to her opinions. We all are. You know, but again, I do not want them dictating my family and our everyday journey, what we do, how we operate. Yeah, it is not our concern in any shape or form to have any concern about what she say, what she thinks, what her opinions are. We have no involvement in that or want any involvement in it. And this is my point once again. See, so yeah, I too kind of recall certain comments that she suggested, or comments making about how I wore my hair, my clothes, my body, and once again, as I explained back then, several times, um, all of that is irrelevant and besides the point, and besides the fact that, I am a responsible adult like anyone else, and I have the right to make choices that I want for me and my children, and that's how I look at that now. See, so that's just the way that go. Yeah, we all are entitled to our opinions, as people, and but again, I feel like, and others I'm sure would agree as well, that opinions should not dictate one's, you know, journey or life. That's or how one life is operated. That's how I look at that as well too for me and my family. So yeah, we just don't want to be involved, in any shape or form with anything she do or you know just overall. When it comes to him, like I say, we know how to operate with him. We don't need her help for any of it. It's the point. Again, and so we choose to do that. To operate with him the way it's best for us to do it. And so this is the point. Again, no. And so yeah. Trying to see, is there anything else I can think of? Yeah. Yeah. It's just at the time, he started running around with her. Him and I, we had a lot of serious issues. He definitely knew. Um, I don't know if she knew or not. That's again not my concern, or I have nothing to do with that. See, so what she knew or thought or said. So yeah, but again, the reality is that the foundation there. It was definitely like it was kind of like failing at that point. And so yeah, so I had to move on. I had to create a new path for us, for my children and I, and that's what I did. So, and he knew that. With that said, again, I want to point that out and make that clear. He chose again not to want to help, to keep it, So, yeah, that's what happened. So, I think that's all I want to say about that, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and get off for now. And I hope everyone continue to have a good night. And I'll be back on, if not tonight, with another video. It'll be tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's all for now. Bye, everybody.